actually. It's been a week. Make sure it's somewhere I can find it for later. Some of these should be viable for what I'm showing her later.
Down, you find the first lake. You'll hopefully see a sign pointing up into the mountains. Word of warning, don't touch the gate. It's got weird magics or something to it. It will hurt you, but only if you touch it.
Somebody looking for the base, then.
Curious about our outsider friends.
Yes,
Good
that
to see you
tends
up and
to be a
about.
common curiosity after a while.
You feeling better?
I'm sorry.
Speaking of people feeling better, I need to go check on if Otea is.
I was wondering. I was asked to gather cultural stories.
My family was
from
from
different people.
Oh, sorry, I'm just thinking. Oh, good morning, Miko.
Good to see that you're up and around. Both of you, for that matter.
Definitely feeling much better after those antibiotics that the doctor gave us. Seems to have worked well.
That's what did
enjoying
it.
being a puddle.
No.
Yes.
Only sometimes.
Having a physical form tends to be probably more enjoyable than not. How are you this morning, Harry?
I'm good. Got my winter dress on.
I see that.
Looks nice.
Nice and warm, ready for the winter. After all, we're going to be here for a good while. Just us and Valis.
Hi.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
And thus the morning rush begins.
Oh, all of you.
Morning, Motia.
For you, my dear friend.
Sorry for the rush.
I'm glad to see that you're finally out of your own home.
I've got some
You
water.
had me so dreadfully worried, you know?
I'm sorry to have worried you, my friend.
Quick access.
I am feeling much better now, though.
I will return.
I'm sure that I can find it within my heart to forgive you.
It is good to see you again, my friend.
Yes.
Good morning, you two.
I'll have to go take this back.
Good morning, Motia.
Looking for cultural stories because I'm trying to earn a raincoat that is given by the UN. The stories will be going in Dr. Anders.
Usual place. I'll have to swap out the empty. Been a little bit weary on bringing them back on time.
I walked by.
Are they going to be opening for today? Seemed like they were running all over the place. Looks like they got that up and running.
Well, we helped get her up and running.
It
She
was a
wasn't
lot to
able
unpack,
to
but
move the
it
path.
is
I see.
set up.
I was just, I didn't get a chance to look at it. I was seeing how they set things up. Alright.
Why did you go to Broom then? Where are you sleeping?
You work at the tavern
No,
instead.
I don't believe so.
I couldn't figure it out.
I was asleep too.
Excuse me.
I slept this late.
I'll get the tops of them. Don't need to climb on top of them this time.
Just looking through right now. You sleep okay?
How are you
Sorry.
feeling, Celine?
Welcome.
Oh, I'm fine. Oh,
Here you go.
thank you. I'm missing one more.
Of course. I will get it. Heating up right now. Oh, hi, Harry. Don't you look adorable?
I'm in a winter dress.
Well, it looks quite lovely on you. Mine, apparently, unfortunately, is being very low.
Is that right?
Good morning to you, Vixen.
It happened.
What?
You know.
I see. Anything particularly stand out?
Gone.
I see.
Here you go.
Suppose then that means that potentially time is growing short.
Can I get you three anything? Tea or food? Coffee, perhaps?
I'd agree.
Some tea would be
I still haven't forgotten the promise that I made.
Coffee for you and tea?
Whenever you're
Which
free.
kind of food would you like?
Free now.
Very well.
Or perhaps this evening would do you better. I know that you're employed.
It's a bit of a... The part that I usually do is more when activity is winding down, per se.
Very well.
I don't really... I tend to
How
take
about
care of the...
middle to evening? We'll let you do everything you need to do in here.
I'm not quite
Very well.
exactly sure if I should.
But
Very
yes.
well. All right. Have a... I'll see you then.
Got it.
I did just wake up.
It's only a matter of time.
You know, remember you kidnapped?
They kidnapped her?
No, the UN helped get her back. Well, they're talking about how the rabbits are basically getting more land and things are pretty dangerous and there's hardly a wolf kid left, but you know. Good news.
Good morning, Miss Aisha.
Good morning.
No,
True,
He
but
can
it
handle
doesn't hurt
himself.
for if others want
you
to
ready
look
for the
after
lessons
you.
today?
If I can find them in the bag, I'll ask him.
I can feel without me for a little bit. I feel like I should take a look at this myself. Maybe they weren't able to find anything. Maybe I will. Indeed, she was right.
Jam present. Hello, Ari.
I got informed that our pretty little ribbons are missing. They didn't say anything.
They are indeed.
They didn't say anything about if they had any indication of how recent or if there was any familiarity.
Within the last week, the Venerators have definitely been here and left their presence known. No scent or tracks to follow, but it is clear that they have said, "We have come and we have seen," that Kitsune are present.
I see.
You also smell that Vixen has visited here earlier.
Mm-hmm. Not even to me.
Why are you
Savage.
blushing suddenly?
What?
Just kidding. Nothing, don't worry.
Ah, girl scent.
Sorry, Ari.
Girl's pretty.
Oh. I see that they have learned a little bit more about subtlety than controlling their rage. Last time I did something like this, they flew off the handle.
Attention, you are entering a comfy vibes area. Please have your blanket or pillow ready for deployment to ensure maximum comfort is achieved.
I suppose that means that they're learning how to make it a bit more fun. I'm okay with this. Maybe I'll finally get a little bit of playtime with them. Thought I heard somebody. Suppose it's good as any that I'll be brushing up then. It's been a while. That's another matter. Deciding what to do with you. They are eager, I will give them that. Suppose sooner or later I might as well reveal the hand they already probably anticipate I'm holding. Definitely a different style of footwork.
Morning.
Good morning.
I guess jasmine tea then?
Very well.
4 jasmine teas? Yeah, I think.
Miko.
Slimes have to drink.
They can.
Very well.
Nothing with water,
We do a
right?
little bit, we just don't have too much. That's why we have the slime folk coffee.
And I put
And I guess one of those, probably.
until after my work is completed.
Do you not have a meal before your duties?
Me?
I'm in my,
I think.
my satchel.
Coffee.
Typically, no.
With the feathers for you. They still use
And
them.
I'm more than capable of being sustained off of water. At least for a while. Food
I
can
lost
wait.
a lot.
Yeah, I was getting some
Nonsense. You must have a
supplies for
morning
my
meal
boat,
before
and plan on getting that thing fixed soon. Soon enough, and
Has
Miko.
everything been
that's probably not gonna happen for a bit.
Oh, no, sir.
calm?
May I have a pastry and a tea?
It has.
How did you want the tea?
Alright, no. Looks like someone wanted to get you coffee too, if you want it.
Oh, wait.
Who got
I got items for the table.
Oh, well, I'll
I suppose you'll need help carrying them.
the young miss.
Yes,
there.
please.
How much for the tea and the school and the pastry?
I'm not sure many other places would
Good morning, E10.
Kind of alright.
Zilla asked us to provide tea for you. So, jasmine tea.
Thank you so much, darling.
Of course.
Pick whether or not you want to come.
Can I also get some pastries, if possible?
I already got some for the table.
Yes, there should be enough there for everybody.
Sorry?
Unless you'd like another
thank
order.
you.
Do you still need some more?
Thank you. I think we're good. Thank you so much, darling.
I'm gonna go wander around a bit, but it was nice running into you.
If you want to join, you can.
I mean, how could you do your duty if you go?
I see you've.
It's
I
quite
see
busy.
you two have decided to switch to more winter-esque attire.
Capable of being sustained off of water.
I had to try my hand at some of the newer fashions, of course.
Yes, the.
But you can do much better. with the tea
I
and
do
the
remember
pastry in your stomach.
those.
Even more duty.
Is this one of the designs out of those
More energy.
images that the
Don't you think?
that were given to you?
Yes, the so-called magazines, apparently.
I
What they're called.
understand your reasoning.
I
However,
see.
those are luxuries that are not
Well, it
permitted to
certainly
me.
looks quite appealing.
Not permitted.
Well, you know what I say.
I
Should
was
you ever
servicing them too.
need anything, I am of service to you.
Of course, of course.
It happens a lot back
to
in
return our
big cities.
gifts.
But
Well, I'm gonna have to just.
If you need to return the
Get
cups,
out of
I
the
can
front
take them
of
for
the
you.
stairs.
I know what it's, I know what it's like. Of course.
We also need to pay for our
People
food.
as well.
Things are
You can see Rashida for
much
that.
more relaxed here. At least from what I've seen. You don't have to worry about being so rigid.
There we go.
Though I know.
So remember to wash those up a bit later.
The rest of the people here do not have to worry about such things.
How have you been, my friend?
I am still a servant. I am
I've
simply
been mostly
away
alright.
from my master on their orders.
There is a matter that has preoccupied me for a bit as of this morning, but
I understand that you
I don't
really
know
want
if
to
it's
keep it
anything that I want to
normal.
worry myself
routine.
about too much.
I won't bug you about
Although it
too
is
much,
something
just,
to be
know that if you ever want
mindful of.
to, it's okay here. At least
Of course.
for while you're here.
I am glad to see you, as
It
always.
is okay for others, not for me.
Yes.
Especially after being cooped up in my house for most of the week.
Yes, I am well aware of that fact.
Can I help you?
I'm just glad to be feeling better.
Just need to pay
Yes,
for our meal.
as am I, because
A bread,
it was very
porridge,
difficult to
and
stay away from you for that long. It's hard to exactly spend company when you
There you
are
go.
insisting that I keep my distance so that I don't join you in that state.
You're new. We've been sick together.
I would not like to see you suffer as I did. It was not the best feeling. Being
I've-
sick is one thing.
Misaki.
This was something else.
I've
and it was
suffered.
not very pleasant.
I've suffered through quite a bit. I'm sure it'll be no worse than some of the other things in my life.
I know. Still, I would not wish that upon you.
Of course, of course. How could I forget?
Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by.
It does remind me, though, that
Food and drink.
time seems to have passed by quicker than I imagined.
I did.
I was
Come on, darling.
telling Rashida just a little bit ago that
Mm.
next week is actually my birthday. It
Is it?
is. It has. It has completely slipped my mind until just a few days ago.
I see.
Be the first time in very, very long time that I will not spend that around home and family. But then, I guess, home and family is also here.
For different definitions of the term, I suppose.
True. But it is still nice to be around those that I care about. Also, Dahana coming up soon too.
Nobility around like that.
So
At least
it
it
is.
still follows the normal ways of the bigger the cities.
I have cleaned everything I'm permitted to. Aside from tables that are preoccupied.
Thank you very much.
They're so far with it, I'm gonna have nothing to do here
Shall I
soon
wait for the
enough.
patrons to leave to clean the other tables as well?
What?
Usually I tend
should be
to
alright for now.
find myself doing a bit of the cleaning since a lot of the kitchen is usually too busy to make room for another, but if they're going to be doing that, I might not have much for myself to do anymore.
I'm sure you will, my friend. You still have the tavern after
Do you
all.
have bread and water?
I suppose.
Of course.
I have the bread, Rashida.
Thank you.
How much is it?
How much is it for?
For the bread, just 1 thaler.
This one.
1 thaler.
And the water?
Only problem is that I have to stay hydrated.
Water is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Is it comfortable swimming
Here you go.
in water? It's
Thank you.
Enjoy.
colder than I'm used to.
Of course.
I'm going to slip by you.
Go ahead, my friend.
Yes, I didn't want to push you out of the way.
You could always just lightly nudge, that is perfectly fine.
That is not of my nature, you are well aware of this.
Close to where I live because it's covered in
I am.
snow. I don't think I would do very well.
Yula is very warm. Used to warm. That's what I have to do.
You made me
Sure it will.
I've seen at least.
Hopefully by that point I have more money. I can buy something warmer for her.
Kind for the ones who do things for them.
I'm not used to wearing warmer
At
things.
least it's a very different
I had some warmer clothes back.
Thank you for trying.
I can help her.
I appreciate it very much.
I just do not have them anymore.
We'll keep that taller until they
When I
eat.
was traveling with friends that it just goes that way.
I lose
We ran
I
out.
have
lots of
already
feathers
eaten.
from time to time, especially
That was also painful.
once it gets closer to summer.
With food I purchased myself.
Still losing some, so if you ever need
Well, then you're going to be keeping
up
that
with
taller for a while.
Carry it in
winter
his backpack for a
clothing,
while.
you open the top
So
so
one broke open and it got everywhere. And
Perhaps
everyone
one day
was wine
you'll
for a
think
long
of us
time.
as
I've already gave
friendship,
some to some people.
and you might let me buy you something.
Mhm.
Smaller.
How did he
like
feel about that?
Everyone that
Did you ever notice that
everyone
the
passes by
gate
has
out front of that strange
Something I can
metallic
give in
building
return.
has
big lush.
changed?
It just smells like wine all the time.
I've never really
I
given
can
much
at
thought
least
to
offer
it
to help if
personally.
you're ever injured.
Where am I to wash this
I
cup?
had to get sturdier bottles that
That'd be
wouldn't break in
nice.
his bag.
I don't really tend to pay attention to things that I don't deem important.
Thicker one.
Fair enough.
I can do that.
I can tell which bottle was the
Thank you.
I would say I could give you
Nothing
that
to for
when I shed, but I do not think that is very useful.
Is there something that I should be noticing about it?
You were going to say you could give me a hand.
Well, main thing at least that I noticed is a lot of the
I cannot give you
clutter in the back seems to be cleaned up. But the gate itself,
if you ever need to
you know how it's like that strange mesh or whatever they call it?
Yes.
The one that lines like their base out in the
Your bad
mountains.
influences.
Well, the gates of that have been replaced with wooden boards, or at least there's wooden boards over it. Those weren't there recently, at least not to my knowledge.
Could mean that they are finally deciding what to do with it.
Maybe.
At least you asked.
Would be nice, given that it's a little bit of an eyesore
First
still.
time, honestly.
Yeah, well, winter has never really been much of a problem for me. Walking, surviving in snow.
Imagine it would be quite rude if I were just sticking random objects inside of you.
Something got your attention, my
Yes,
friend.
only yes. Well, at least if I only working
Nothing
here,
too
then being able to clean things is
important to note.
more normal than
Not at the
it would be
moment.
otherwise.
I am paying attention to you.
Really?
Of course it would be.
Mind if I join you too?
Please?
Go ahead.
I've never been good at talking.
Well, how are you feeling now with all of this serious business out of the way?
I don't remember seeing you around very much last week.
I was being pulled every which way, so yes.
Yes, I took their,
Well,
their needle.
I had something important that I was doing that at least over the course of about a week ago, and then a number of things that had come forth.
as it stands, I only was able to get out about around midday. Unfortunately. I was finishing up, well, most of some of the projects that I've been working on.
Do not feel any ill effects.
Including this, I take it.
Any other sickness?
Especially this.
I see.
It does look quite lovely on you, my friend.
Antibiotics that they had.
Thank you. I tried my best.
Are you sure you would want the crystal storage now?
It's been a long while since I've actually really changed my appearance in any meaningful way. Most of what I own is some variation of this.
I don't know where I would have you send it.
I would be happy to provide some for you, free of charge.
Well, I don't know if I could accept that. I can't imagine that kind of effort comes quick nor without considerable experience to handle that. Especially if the clothes can handle the flux.
Dear Ice Hearts, quality is second to none, it seems.
So it is.
I am rather, thankful that you think of such things with
Excuse
me.
me a lie. I just
Of
remembered
course.
something. Something
But it does certainly seem comfortable.
Facilitator.
I've never really...
Definitely warm.
I've never really noticed the cold too much. I suppose I just... After a while you grow accustomed to it. It doesn't really bother you much, which is why I am so... lightly covered for the elements, as it is.
Trying to figure it out, I suppose.
I mean...
I'm somewhat the same, to be honest.
Same. I think we all are.
Mine for different reasons, of course.
We all hail in some way from slightly colder climes than what dear Valis has.
We do.
The nice thing about this location mostly being the doesn't really have much in the way of some of the more
The
harsher
winters
weather.
are definitely far more temperate here than they are up north, near autumn.
Have a good day.
Indeed.
Should
Wait,
see the
no.
winters in... No, it would be much more mild up there compared to down here.
Yes, my mind is reversing things. It seems. I was
No
thinking
worries.
of the map upside down.
But then clearly you must be suffering right now with it being so much colder than home.
Mommy and such, because of our ways of things.
Truly, you may perish.
Really?
Especially with
Oh
the way
dear.
how I act. Like, it's a lot to say about
It is definitely different from the winters of autumn to the winters of down here. Especially, I feel like Valis is much more...
Our feelings are not correct.
Maybe it's comparable to home.
What are you?
Potentially.
Home and Valis kind of share the same temperature and weather.
I would occasionally see
Both inside of a valley, to be fair.
live, so
Close to the southern
I don't
border.
have a chance to talk to them much.
The ice.
I mean, we're not too far off to the hometown of you kind. I mean, that was where in the world me and Willow and our family were headed before we arrived here.
Relationships, and specifically love. Lamia is only ever supposed to love one person for their entire life. And the hardship of that.
That being said, it was nice to hear from home again.
For some, it's
Oh.
others, but
Did you get another letter?
for many of us, it's
I did.
something we will strive a lifetime towards for our
Ah, that was
see.
good to hear. I'm glad. I heard
As am I.
from home as well.
It sounds
I'm
romantic,
not
but
sure if
also
it was
sounds
last week or the week before. The weeks
like
seem to
pressure.
That it is.
blur together to me lately.
It's kind of natural to us.
But,
We are always meant
It was nice to hear
Jasmine.
from Father.
to find our one and
he sent me this brooch.
play in great us. And so
It's
those of us
beautiful.
who are a bit more
It used to be Mother's. Then Mother gave it to her, and now she's giving it to me.
assumptions get made
It is beautiful.
about that. But just because
I
I do
appreciate it.
such physical activities does not mean
Are you okay there, Miko?
necessarily trying
Yes.
to fall in love with
You've just been
multiple people or one specific person.
something that come to mind is all.
Eventually, I'm hoping to.
Well, if you ever need to talk about it, you know I'm always here for you.
I know you are.
And once that happens,
That said,
As am I.
I feel that this is probably something that is at least
Until then, until I feel I have found the one
something
who
you
I
both
wish
may either want
to be
or
with
should know.
I will still act however I wish.
Oh?
And
I've been
once my mother
monitoring something out in the forest
very upset
over
with
the
me if
last
it's still
couple
like
of
this on
weeks
the
that I had set out there as a bit of a test of sorts to
Is it a little more?
wait for
Is
things.
it about the thing that...
I guess it'd be a little more friendly.
Yes. They are missing.
Oh,
Sometime within the last week.
It's not as if I'm
They have
trying
been
to
here.
marry one person and then move on to the next. It's a little.
Whether or not they came into the town, I do not know, but
I suppose it might be viewed by people from the outside.
I haven't seen
They
anyone
have had-
suspicious, but then...
we have had visitors from Venerators as of late, or at least
My
representatives
mother
of
is
them.
just worried that I'm going to
Mm,
fall in love with the wrong person.
It seems they were able to
But my father told me she was the same.
control themselves a little bit this time.
She was around my age.
So I imagine they probably saw things that
His
would have
love
made them a rather
and the physical connection
bothered.
weren't exactly mutually exclusive.
one can only hope. And one can
That's-
only hope that they don't come back.
You'll have to forgive me, I'm not quite following. What do you mean?
You fall in love, but the
quite simply what I said. At some point within the last week, either a representative or one themselves of the Venerators have been pretty much right outside of Alice, perhaps even visited.
Alright.
And I am very certain of this fact.
Anytime I try to make a way across town, it's 500 people want to talk to me.
Always been able to use this method to get an idea of where they are visiting.
It's called an exaggeration. But yes, no, you're right. More like
It's definitely a cause for concern, that is for sure.
Yes. Means I have to move a couple things forward that I thought I would have more time for.
Should they be seen within the town, I'm going to make myself scarce.
I know. Keep them safe.
My guess is it was more than likely I'm going to use the best hopefulness that I can and say that it was a representative rather than one themselves. If only for the reason that
I'm glad that name is spreading.
they have a sort of air about them. They aren't usually oft to mask themselves unless they are actively on the hunt.
More like a brother at this point.
In which case they would have been a bit more subtle, but
I hope he did not pay.
I imagine it was still likely a representative because
so much money to be throwing on.
they would have had a hard time holding themselves back with the number of people that are around here that are not exactly on the friendliest terms with their order.
You're the money we get paid either way.
I would imagine not many of us here would be on friendly terms with them.
If you do not mind,
some less so than others.
Things of eggs and coffee, at least me.
Indeed. Present company included, I would imagine.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Who could possibly hate anybody at this table?
Good morning.
How have you been acclimating to the town?
If they do come into town.
You're not too cold, you saying number one, hopefully.
Well, defenseless.
I do not get cold. I am a snow hobby.
I see.
Well, similar to me.
And call it a gift from father.
Perhaps then I won't have to offer you the same offer that I made to another about
I'm sorry,
giving them a little bit of reassurance that they would be alright if caught out on their own. After all, you've seen the second story of my home. I never set it up that way, it just so happened to be there, and it's been rather... I've finally been giving it some use.
I had been meaning to ask you about that, and every time that I thought of the question, it just didn't feel right to ask at that moment.
Well, now you can certainly ask. You're more than free to come by and visit to use it if I am around. Should that interest you?
Perhaps.
Very well.
I might just take you up on that offer.
Oh, yeah.
It makes us
good.
No, you don't need to pay for whatsoever.
But yes. We're gonna take a little bit of a walk, but
I'm fine.
I know the news of the potential had been spreading quite wildly, but perhaps for the sake of not distressing a number of people, maybe be a bit measured in dissemination of that.
Skimping on meals.
If you're going,
it's not just me.
Not something that happens quite often. Like I said, it's a very
make sure there's enough meals for everyone.
did indeed do a bit of work there.
Maybe we can find threads.
I suddenly see why.
Aye.
See you all around.
Sure. Be safe.
You too. Take it easy. I don't know if it was the D or something.
Sorry, huh?
Hmm?
They certainly seem a little jumpier. Perhaps they finally noticed. If they suddenly make a bit of a trip out of the town, perhaps I should follow. Just in case. Not that they have anywhere to go, the winter pass is already blocked.
If he's just been around places like Palace, small communities where he's not really had to experience much, then fair and understandable that he'd be dead set in his ways. Happens to a lot of folk. Said
A lot easier to get back here than this way than going the proper direction. This here. Seems like something new every day. to get up here without using my cheating powers. Suppose we'll find out. It does seem like they are looking for a place to be away from people. Which would indicate potentially that they are indeed guilty of what I believe them to be. I could confront them, perhaps. But would the direct approach be the good one here? There are two of them. Annoyingly so, Zila seems to be sticking by them constantly. Let's see if they have moved on. What the heck?
I don't know what I'm going to say, but if there were a hypothetical bar that would make you return to your normal self, this one hasn't had it yet. Don't stab it! That's my pet, don't stab it!
I'm not going to stab anything. I'm just wondering why you have that. I'm just wondering why you have that with you.
I'm holding a sandwich!
I see.
What's this? Rip it in half. Hey, hey! Go on!
I don't know whether to be impressed or concerned that you have shown it that you are now a source of food.
Oh, I'm a great source of food. They say it's fine.
Yes,
You can eat whatever you want.
Yes,
And I will
yes,
provide
you
it
are.
forever. And then you'll get starved and everyone will blame me.
Not the most worrying thing is
Hello, fancy hat guy. We're supposed to have a conversation.
You... That's not the most concerning thing you've seen today? Do I want to know?
I just need to talk to the man.
You can also eat
The town may have a problem.
Back up, back up. Back up.
Just
I know
one.
it's red. Stop trying to posture against the... really large person. Hey, back. No, I know what you're saying, but oh my god, you're gorgeous. Hey.
Is she in her home? I don't know. Yep, they are definitely avoiding me. Which means they definitely have something to hide. Now why they're so antsy around me, I don't know. I believe I saw Vixen around in this part of the forest earlier today. I wonder if she's still out here. Potentially. Just take a quick look over. Do give me the answer I need. But if they are, they've gone pretty far. Either way, I have encouraged them to return to town. That's good. These stairs are so steep.
Those. Hey, stop. Nudge. Look,
Don't question it too much, you'll go mad.
I think I might be already.
Yep, there's no helping you then. Hey! I did not say that word. Stop that. I suppose at this point I'll have to wait for Vixen to make her presence known. Then I can move forward with that little promise of mine. Of course, if she was in town, where would she even be? She's probably out in the forest.
Maybe I could purchase off of you?
Oh, I have dye. I don't really
have
need
a
it at the
easy
moment.
solution for that.
How good are you
Useless,
sniffing out
I feel
poisons?
useless. Everyone feels useless right now. The world is
It
broken.
depends on
how they smell.
Entire world, and we're all here.
I mean, if anything, I know I can talk to
Do anything
possibly
about
Hotel, considering that. Well,
Only worry is because the fact it happened once before, and maybe never found out how.
Also, how do you just know who
You still to it the last time, but still to this day, I don't know what that Catholic somehow his food was poisoned.
What am I going to do about... I could put another one up. Would I do... They do it a second time. Usually it only works once unless you're actively trying to taunt them.
Please do. If anything comes from it, I don't want you to get caught in it. You need to be there for your children.
Must
I
be
know
quite
how
terrifying
mankind are
sometimes
viewed
to see such disasters.
by those devoted to the Empire.
Not what you can do.
I mean, most that I've seen is distaste like any beast can. That's why I think we get along sometimes. Despite being a citizen, I am still seen as an animal. Despite all lineage is
Generalization,
wrong.
yes. But those... There are those who have hunted us before.
I have not heard of this.
Oh, okay.
It's rare, but some believe that our presence is a curse in itself.
I know that not to be true.
If anything,
While we're
usually
in
it's
this town,
those who have
I know
that
at least I will make sure you're
superstition
fine.
are the ones with the curse.
You're more of a blessing, darling.
As Mana said.
I appreciate it. As it stands, I don't feed into such ideas. I came to terms with what I am long ago.
Many lately, but I don't want anyone
Or at least it feels long to me.
crying over it. We all already had our cries.
I'm gonna go walk around.
When I decided to leave Autumn was pretty much when I came to terms
Get you on,
with it.
Rihanna.
For the first time in years.
And as the Enclave put it,
Don't push yourself.
You know they're going to anyways.
I haven't so far.
Call it being brotherly concern. We both push each other too hard.
You push yourself too much?
Yes,
no, you never do that.
I've already had my kneecaps threatened twice. And then these two, I'm pretty sure, also plotting behind me.
Plotting? I mean, it's already planned.
I'm sure there's no one around to do anything to them.
There's possibly a few.
Oh, really?
But, suffice to say,
Best we can do is try to make things better.
there was word that was given to us by, I believe her name's Nixa.
Excuse me. Do you know
Oh,
White
she does
scale
know most of the
Lamia.
information. Yes, I know Nick so well. Good friend of mine.
She spoke to me that they're hunting our enclaves.
Thank you.
Maybe not the Empire, but definitely a faction.
Keep trying to introduce myself.
I don't know what has become my home. But as long as you are here, I'll make sure none of that happens.
You did a
Trust me
good
on
job
that.
clearing out all those trees, by the way. It looks really nice to see the path.
Too much work, not enough arms. Geo had 4 arms instead.
Look, I can't help. I
Silly,
can't
but
take
it's
down a
still a
tree in
job.
3 swings like you.
Not all it's got.
That's really a good argument for there to be 2 of her.
Yes, I
Maybe
do
they're the
believe
same
you
size
just
as
got
you.
told that you had a skill issue.
Of course.
Geo would like
Really?
water in a container.
I thought you were on my side for once.
I am never on anybody's side but my own.
We can do that.
It's fair in this day and age. Not something I could abide by.
Because you never know when there's...
Where are you off
if you know the people that you know well enough that you can actually
I want to be sure
work with anybody unless it's yourself sometimes.
We all have our secrets.
Yes, some more than others.
Sometimes it's better for most people to keep them quiet.
You want to make sure everyone's safe. You're not coming back?
Geo is coming back.
I both say I hope you're coming back.
That comes with crew.
But,
Based out there.
I mean, we are going to have to rely on everybody here for at least the winter, since the pass is closed off and all that. Or at least if it hasn't, it's about to be with the snowfalls. Once you start trying to exit the mountains.
The further scouts north have shown me the fact of it's going to be pretty much closing.
Just bring the bottle back.
We will be shut in for most of the
Well,
winter.
hopefully nobody wanted to go
Small
anywhere
pass
too
to
badly.
Good luck on your expedition. Keep everyone safe.
Not out there. Not in the war.
We'll try.
But be assured, there's still small passes here and there that people will find their way in.
They're going to be
Never fully
cold and
shut it all out.
they're going to be cold and shivering at that point. I don't envy them at all.
Pardon.
And when they come, we will give them warmth and cover for the time being.
Very
Only
well.
there were a place
Darling.
that would rent you a bed and give you a place by the fire.
Your attention is being wanted.
If only there was a
place.
place.
But no one wants to come to me.
If only there was a place like that.
Yes, Gio.
Gio is attempting to stop the expedition while the sun is high.
You watch the side. Well then, let's go see if I can find my sister. She just walked out. Wolfgang is the other one who'd possibly be involved.
Speaking of, this isn't really relevant to your expedition, but before I forget. Mr. Turr has decided that he has found another pet. It's some sort of green feathered creature. I don't actually know what it is, but it seems relatively harmless. It bit at someone, but didn't take... Yeah, it seemed fine.
He is already feeding it and everything.
It bit someone, but it seems significantly less dangerous than most of the creatures that he might come up with, so...
I'm still to this day amazed he is alive. I'll be honest, the amount of times we catch him out in the wilds and surprised he's not wyvern food at this point.
Perhaps because his scent is out there enough, they think he's one of their own at this point.
Wouldn't be that surprising.
It's true. Anyway, let's go see if I can find my sister.
There is old saying about a fool's luck keeps someone safe. Perhaps he is very lucky.
Which means he's a big fool.
Does this surprise anybody?
Anyway. Oh, excuse me.
Have a good day.
Are you going to find yourself alright, my son?
Gathering them up to go.
Hmm.
Going anywhere, not today.
Given the nature of your discussion topic.
Oh, I'll be fine. I'm just...
I'll be right back.
I'm all too familiar with how these things can work, so...
You and me both. You and me both. Still, doesn't mean that I can't worry about you at least a little bit.
I appreciate it, darling, I really do. And if there's ever a need for assistance, you'll be one of the first to know, I'm sure.
I'm glad to know that you trust me with that sort of thing.
My eyes are playing tricks on me. I'm still seeing the stars through the sky.
Oh, give me a moment.
It is as if you made a prayer and the gods answered.
Ah, I see. Yes, they seem to have graced me with the light of day. As beautiful, God, as they are, I'm sure.
Stargazing is quite fun, yes.
I don't know whose they are.
Lots of secrets in the stars.
There are varying topics too.
I don't know what any of them are, but I'm sure there are probably some out there.
I was wondering if you'd like to take charge of them for now.
Well, it's funny you should say that, considering that the enclave that I was a part of was known as the Enclave of the Stars. We usually look to the stars for comfort.
Well, did you feel comfort then for a brief moment? Sounded like you could need it.
I always feel comfort at night. If anything, maybe that's why I was seeing it. Maybe I was just simply thinking of the stars really well.
I suppose so. I will keep you up to date on anything that I am aware of regarding if there's anything more on that. I do want to see you safe.
Oh, that's right. I need to run back to the house so I can get that deerkin. This individual known as Huckleberry had commissioned me something, and they were going to go speak with them, and so I figured that we'd take out two birds with one stone, as it were.
Yeah, I was going to say, I do know Mr. Huckleberry, yes. But in that case, I shan't keep you.
I appreciate the company, though, so I hope you have a wonderful day.
And you as
I'll
well.
be around.
Come, they're in my house.
Come on now.
Sure.
They tend to show up unannounced a lot of the time.
Mekla will come. Post haste.
Everything alright over here?
Hmm?
Everything alright over here?
Yes, he's asking about one guest that might show up.
Yes. They've been in the vicinity. At least within the last week, or at least a representative of them.
Which kind of guess?
My experience with Venerators is the fact that they tend to show up when they want, and they tend to do it quietly.
Well, they didn't. They did so quietly, but they still left a bit of a note. Or at least, they took the note with them.
They're leaving a message. That's what it is. They like to play this as a game more than anything. I never worked with them
no.
myself, but I know a few
In
of
this
my men
case,
have.
it was more that they
and
played the
never-
game that was put out for them.
Careful. I wouldn't play games with Venerators. Nasty people, usually.
They don't.
I might be of the Empire, but even I don't approve of their ways.
They don't bother me any, personally. They're nothing like they were back in the day.
How would you know? You don't look at it. I would almost say over 20. You couldn't have been around or met that many in this time.
Well studied, perhaps. That's
well
one of the
studied
few.
that can make you a target. They
Oh.
hide their teachings very well.
Oh heavens! I'm sure I'm just poor and defenseless. I can handle myself. Why was this open? Hi. My door was open and I didn't leave it open. Is there something I should
Probably
know
an
about?
accident.
Probably an accident. Okay, I'm just double checking. Just making sure in case someone broke into my house.
The Venerators are here!
Finally! Let's fucking go! I'll get this. I'll get my weapon. Where is it?
Suddenly Miko's voice goes like all deep and...
Yippee! Perfect.
Show me your stance, love.
Which stance? Front or back?
Your weapon stance. Show me you stand with your weapon out.
Preparing.
Thank you. May was the Venerator all along. Thanks, chat. Alright. Have fun, alright?
Well, wouldn't be the first time I've had to hurt somebody that I love.
You'll know I'm a Venerator when you wake up with 8 tails.
That took a long time to grow those tails. How dare you?
Her sergeant. Yes. Sergeant. Yeah, sergeant, I believe. That perhaps Vixen would be given some ability to remain at the base, should she need it. I don't know whether that's going to go anywhere, but I figured
She's brought that up herself, and she didn't seem too keen on it unless she's changed her mind recently.
Which is funny, because I have seen her inside the wall several times before. Tends to make herself comfortable anywhere, though.
She is a bit of a free
spirit. You are
spirit.
expected and going somewhere you can.
True. Either way. If I catch wind, I'll let you know. But like I said, they tend to move quietly and, well, they try to go unnoticed until they need to be.
Do they carry anything in particular?
Depends on what they're hunting. Or looking for.
Also depends how powerful the Venerator is. The powered ones are loud, flashy, usually. Usually they will still wear the Empire Guards. They tend to take pride in working for the Oracles.
So be it. Well, I'll let you all worry about your business. I am simply butting in. Unless I can borrow any of you for a quick question, what are your favorite foods?
Oh dear.
That can go for a while. It's been a while since I've had a home-cooked meal.
I was gonna say, I've never really had much thought to it. I've usually just ended up finding whatever is available at whatever tavern I'm staying at, as far as the town.
Do you like things that are sour? Do you like things that have spice? Meat, potatoes? A vegetable of preference?
Something with spice, because that tends to be a flavor that is, well, memorable in a sense. You remember it well, and it leaves its mark for a while before it lets you go.
Sadly, it's probably going out
Part
of
of my
season.
agreement. It is, though. Part of my agreement with Dr. Anders is to get supplies for the Heart. And the idea is to come up with dishes that mix our world and theirs. So some amount of spices might still be accessible.
True, but I mean, more or less, parts of my favorite meal would usually be fresh wyvern that my mother would hunt. She's a pretty talented cook. If you find any good seasonings. Well, wyvern's about to go out. They hopefully left at this point. Mating period being over.
Fingers
We'll see
crossed.
we'll see what the outsiders bring. They have quite weird taste, I've noticed.
Yes. Yes, I think theirs will be quite the varied portion. I mean, we have plenty of different flavors, but getting them here in Valis is often difficult.
I'd have to honestly
I would
look
say
for a
anything
while
with
if I ever
spices.
found anything that remotely reminded me of something that I
Spices?
particularly enjoyed.
What?
Like Miko's personality?
They stopped making that kind of meal a couple centuries ago.
It's funny, I made the same comment earlier. I'm not the one who's
I'm
noticing
gathering
it.
favorite foods for
You've gotten quite spicy. Last
Margarita.
couple
We
weeks.
are going to be trying to prepare some
You
dishes
bring quite the
that mix
spice of
our
life,
world and theirs,
as it
so-
were.
So I'm
Oh,
getting
I
an
see.
idea of what people enjoy.
Is that a good thing? Or do I need to tone it down a bit?
Any cooking,
Trust
you're
me,
more than welcome
I
to.
witnessed the
Otherwise,
spice oh
lots that you
so
have
well
on-
when I caught you through the
Dishes to be
window
made.
of Flotea's tea house.
Happily provide my
Oh.
teas. of course.
I thought, have you taken to
And
peeking now?
the blends I've been working and putting together.
That's what I'm talking about. Look at that.
I look forward to it.
I'm teasing, darling.
hope they do
Teasing,
enjoy.
teasing.
Yes, I'll just simply remember this for later.
Oh dear, she will remember this.
What? Is there a problem?
If you will forgive me, I
No.
keep doubting.
It's impolite to bully people that are shorter than you.
You ladies have a good one. I must see to another party who's been waiting on me.
I
See you
see.
later.
See you later.
I was
bud.
not aware of this custom. Perhaps it's come around as of recent. Granted, I don't think that rule quite applies when the one who is shorter starts it. She had it coming.
Isn't that, in that case, it just gets thrown out the window? Is that how that rule goes?
I think it's fair to do that.
Fair enough. Should you need a hand with cooking things too, I can always come by and lend a hand.
I'm sure we'll be experimenting with a number of things. I'll let you know, and then if you wish to, you're more than welcome to drop by. Same goes for you too. If you enjoy cooking, I'm honestly not much of a chef myself, but that's perfectly fine if not.
I don't know, I feel like you do pretty well.
Do things, cooking. I'm not going to burn anything, but you're not going to get anything exceptional.
I've never really been one to make my own stuff in that regard, so I don't know if I'd be really more of a help or a hindrance. At least as far as making anything new.
Well, we'll figure it out together.
Indeed. It's always the
And
fun
Margarita's a
part
chef,
of it.
and
She
hopefully we can
is.
rely somewhat on her expertise.
That's the hope.
Had marvelous pies last week.
Yes, I actually
But,
did
in any
quite
case-
enjoy that. She insisted
was
everybody
very
to have some
delicious.
that had walked by. She'd practically shove it into your hands.
I wouldn't say that I can blame her.
She gets to introduce food that most of us have never even dreamed of eating.
Indeed.
True. Very
It's
true.
like showing your very first creation to someone. You're so proud of it. You want everyone to see it or taste it or drink it, whatever it may be.
Yes.
I've never had that.
Well, I suppose there's always a chance. Always an opportunity.
I've not
I
made
feel
much
like-
originally.
I feel like we're
Can't
going to
blame
be
you.
experiencing a very unique Dahana this year. With all the mixing of the cultures.
I hope so.
I still need to decide what I'd like to wear.
But, time enough.
I'm not more for the dressing up part. But I don't know. I'll see what else I can come up with.
I'm
Do
sure
and
it'll be.
participate with for Dahana.
I'm sure it will be fun.
I'm going to go wandering.
Enjoy your wandering.
Sounds very
then.
well.
See you all later.
You as well, dear.
See you later, Sienna.
It's that soon, is it? The festivities, I mean.
So it is. Although it feels like you have other meaning.
In this case, no, I don't. I've just never exactly had the most fond memories of Dahana. Is all.
Well, maybe this year you'll get to make some fond memories together.
That would certainly be something, wouldn't it? I don't think that's going to be in the cards for me, though.
Well, you never know.
I'm fairly certain.
Why?
Pattern recognition.
Very well. But I would still say, at the very least, leave yourself open to maybe you'll be surprised.
I suppose. But I'm not hopeful.
Very well.
But what did you think I meant when I was talking about it, since you seem to believe that I meant something else entirely?
Well, I thought maybe you had some other plans for it.
No, I really don't do much on that holiday. Usually it's not the best time of year for me. At least it hasn't been for a good while.
Well.
Hello.
I may, perhaps, if I don't run into Sopa on time, I will be going over to the camp of the other side for the first time. So if you don't see me around, that's probably where I'm at.
I'll keep
Very
that
well.
in mind.
Travel safe, my friend.
I will do my...
But yes, for as long as I can remember, it's never really been that enjoyable of a time for me, so I suppose that is why I am not very hopeful of a different outcome. Hello.
Hi, Mari.
Did you have fun staring at us?
Staring at you?
To be fair, I didn't even know you were there until just now.
Were you?
No, not you. I mean you. Up in the top of your house earlier.
I was not staring at you at all. I don't know what exactly you are implying.
They were making eye contact with you. It was like a whole thing. If you didn't know you were staring at us, that's like honestly kind of hilarious.
I actually don't recall actually seeing you at all today, except for this morning talking to Kane.
That's actually just the funniest coincidence, and that's hilarious.
Was it out here? Like right here.
Back there.
You sneaking around in my garden, Amaury.
Then I legitimately have no idea what you mean in this case.
Like, you were up at the top of your house, and, like, 3 people. Like, I was facing the...
I can't hear you all of a sudden.
We can't hear you, Amaury.
I realize that. But I was looking
The
this
sound
way.
barrier is weird there.
I was looking this way, and then 3 of the 4 people that I was talking to were looking this way.
Who was
Which
there
happens
then?
to have a perfect line of sight straight at your house. And you were at the second, like at your top floor, looking through your window that's open. And they were making straight eye contact with you, and all 3 of them were staring up at you, and you were seemingly staring back at them. I guess you weren't.
Who was there? Because I am actually completely uncertain. I don't even remember standing at there. Who was there?
It's been one of those kind of days.
Who are you
is it
talking
not,
to?
I was talking to Brindavere, that one.
Yes. Okay.
That's going up the stairs right there. Kane ended up being there for a bit of it. And the interesting one from last week, if you know, was also there.
Yes, I remember. Okay, then. I don't even remember a time that you were all gathered together, so obviously something happened and I have no idea what we're going on about. But if I did, I'm
honestly hilarious.
If I did, I'm sorry,
hilarious.
but
I love it.
But no, I was not staring at you, although there was quite a bit to look at here.
I didn't have an issue. Do not mind that. I didn't have an issue.
Oh, I'm minding.
It's just that I didn't even see you. I just saw them staring at you until I turned and I saw like somebody move away, and I was like, "Who is that?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, somebody was staring at us." And I'm like, "Who wouldn't be up there?" And I'm thinking, like, "Oh wait, no, that's Miko's house. Maybe that was Miko." And then I looked, I was like, "Was that a rabbit or was that Miko?" And someone said, "Oh yeah, it was Miko." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yes, I was going to say, I'm in my house.
Forgive me, when you mean the interesting one was with you, who exactly are you speaking of?
One of the new people.
Oh.
Inside joke.
It's an inside joke from a conversation we had.
Yes.
I mean, I've caught many of them to be interesting. One perhaps more so, but I was just curious to see if maybe, well, if they are the same person that you were thinking of.
I feel like that would require somebody put their cards down on the table, reveal their hand.
Have so many people around here. I hope you're both having a good
Fuck,
day.
she does know.
What? Yes.
Yeah, Mari? Okay.
Just so that, because I find it hilarious, that one was the interesting one.
I caught that.
Oh, you actually saw it.
I've gotten rather good at doing that, I think. I've been hanging around with you too much, I think.
Yes, you probably have. I'm an awful influence on you. You should probably fix that.
Right, so spend more time with you, Goddess.
I believe you're getting the exact wrong message from what I'm saying. Wow. Those are some aggressive wind currents right there in that tally.
Were my words eaten away?
For like about a few moments, yes. Don't mind me though, I'm just remaining within the vicinity of interesting things.
As you wish. But yes, I did catch that little detail.
I see.
I wasn't sure. But given the fact that, well, you and Amari have basically all but confirmed it, how interesting.
Yes. Again, it's one of those things where when you're in the know, you tend to have the knowledge. To what extent is a different matter, but when you're well versed in it, you know what to feel for. In some cases, if you're...
And I guess in my case...
I guess it's a matter of you have to be able to feel, because it's not like they're completely gone or anything. Brush, brush. You do. They're just concealed. It doesn't mean that they are completely gone. That would be far more convenient against one of the usual tactics that they had back in the day to cause problems, actually. Because they used to carry around alchemical dyes that they would just... Their way of accusing somebody was to basically take a vial of it, throw it at them, and basically shatter it upon them, and, well, when it happens, suddenly there's a lot more things visible than you're really expecting, and then it's a pain to get out. Believe me.
Where are you off to in a hurry?
They don't...
I can imagine.
They don't use... it's not even easy to go
I went to go
clean.
get my bear! That's right, that's what I was doing!
What? Huh?
Yeah, he has a bear. Don't worry, it's a baby still.
Why?
What?
Because they killed the mother, and they didn't know what to do with the cub.
First Carrick, now her.
Technically,
Not to
Carrick
mention
usually have
Giomara
to begin
has, what was it, a wyvern baby?
I don't know. I don't keep wild animals as pets.
The baby bear will at least be trained to it could hunt on its own, and then it'll be released.
Are you sure?
As long as it actually learns how to be self-sufficient,
What is
otherwise
that
it's setting it
sound?
up for failure.
What is that?
Sounds like it's coming from the general direction of the...
Otherworlders? Yeah.
It's probably something of theirs.
I'm surprised it's that loud. It is.
Hopefully this is not a new ritual of theirs, otherwise I think they're going to be getting a lot of complaints.
Oh, yes.
Speaking of, have you seen Vixen anywhere this morning, at least after she dropped by the Crystal Heart?
No, actually, no, I haven't.
She's probably gone off on one of her little adventures into the woods again, if I had to guess. It's just that I did have an arrangement with her to assist her with something later, and, well, I am presently quite free, so it would personally be...
Would you like to walk with me, then?
Someone in particular?
Just back here.
You are leading me into a very shady place, my dear. Wherever could you be taking me?
If you call the back of my house shady, well...
I mean, look at it!
Wrong.
Look at how much shade there is here.
Yes. I know. It's impressive at how much there is.
But yes.
It just feels interesting this all cleared out now. Just gotten used to it, you know, being kind of closed off a little bit.
I got used to that. I also got used to there being a pretty much massive hole in the ground that's been somewhat filled up finally.
I know. It'll be interesting to see how they transform this place.
I believe they had a couple things in mind, but yes.
One was hopefully a greenhouse, which will be wonderful for me.
Yes, it would
and
be.
I can finally help a lot more than I can right now.
I thought you had the ability to make anything grow at any time. Given the way that you were doing things.
I do. But it's not necessarily an easy way of doing that with a large number of food items.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Nyx provided me with a large assortment of crop seeds.
I see.
I'm very lucky. She was very fortunate in getting everything that I had requested from her. All items all crops that could be, well, grown through winter and into spring.
I see.
Should help alleviate our food problem. At least for a while. Something wrong?
I just saw a blur go by. I thought it was potentially Iceheart doing that same thing she did before. I was about to go yell at her.
Ah, that.
Yes. Except this time there wasn't a window. However,
she did say she was going over to the other place.
Yes, although I do believe I identified the source of said blur, so that is still interesting in itself, depending on what they were doing. Yeah, they've been quite awfully jumpy around me today. I wonder what could have happened.
Who?
No one important.
Fair enough. Remember how... Was it you that I was speaking to in regards to the gate there?
What was that?
I honestly cannot remember.
I actually missed what you were saying. What were you saying?
Oh, was it you that I was speaking to in regards to the fence thing over here?
Yes, you had already told me about that and how they had changed things up a little bit about it.
Yeah.
And then I proceeded. And then I
actually removed part of it.
I was gonna say, and then I proceeded to. I actually, you know what? I think I know what happened. So, remember what was here. Let me come show you something. I think I know what happened. I believe that's where it went.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure why, but it's there now. I think,
you know what?
I think it was a matter of them trying to actually build a proper barrier around the because there was the whole gatehouse thing, but then there was this big open area you could just walk around and just come on through here. So I suppose that was their way of solving the problem. It is locked.
It is.
I mean, I could fix that, but I don't really have a reason to.
Leave it alone. It's better that way.
But anyways, I believe now that you pointed out all those details, I now realized what the difference you were pointing out was, and I put two and two together because I had gone over there, saw that, got confused. Now seeing that again, I was like, oh wait, I think I understand now. And then, well, I don't know who did it, but it was I guess it was done within the last week, otherwise I feel like we would have noticed it sooner.
It's probably Geo, to be fair. She has been building things.
Yeah, probably. Anyways, I'm going to step inside my home for a bit.
Very well.
Do a bit of people watching. This time on purpose. It's really interesting how they constantly find each other in each other's company. I think I could actually hear them from a specific spot.
I mean,
so doesn't mean there's no reason we couldn't get an eyedropper.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What the person did? That's the one that has the high school in it? Yes. Yeah, do you know what that is?
Confusing.
I don't know, maybe... I don't know. Academic place that is high in the sky?
Is it better than normal school? I did meet a professor from,
No, he just probably won't hear anything of interest, but you never know.
Maybe he went to high school. Yeah, maybe.
I wonder if it's for upper class people, which is why I'd be high school as opposed to normal school.
What's that?
High society.
Maybe? You're thinking about the book? That was colonial fireworks. Okay, remind me about colonial fireworks because that sounds interesting.
Story that came through. The one about the rivers running red with wolfkin blood. Again.
The rivers are red? I was cleaning them earlier.
Metaphorically, but not these rivers. The main echo. Further up north.
What's a photo? I'm going to need to figure out what fireworks are and what photos are. Photos are pages that come out of this little contraption that the UN people have. They aim it at you and press something on it and it makes the page come out.
Oh, the necromancer
image.
box. That's what it does.
No, I think the necromancer box was different. Do they have multiple necromancer boxes? It didn't feel like it took anything.
They notably calm around other people, but they've got increasingly jumpy when around me in particular. Do they notice my attempts to monitor them, perhaps?
That can keep their bottled lightning too. Maybe there's a way we could use that for ourselves.
Maybe.
As you can see, I was messing with it with Wolfgang over the week. We took the gate off and moved it elsewhere. That fence does not have the same magic properties as the one up there. I don't know if there is the same type of power there.
Yeah, I already touched it. It doesn't seem to be enchanted. That's how you figured it out. Yes?
Get copper. I did manage to meet with some dwarves on my travels, and they've managed to find a way to conduct lightning from the sky and use copper to obtain it.
God,
Sounds like dwarves.
I mean, that. Yeah, I don't know.
Honestly, if we could utilize their power of lightning, a lot.
That'd be part of the science. Rez, before you disappear. Rez, before you disappear. I know you had situations with the housing. You're looking for a living situation. I have something for you.
Red, think about the winter.
I doubt I'm going to find anything of note other than just the fact that they have other acquaintances or.
To the other world camp, so they should be.
Needing a place to sit. And I saw one.
Fair enough.
Away from the base, at least.
Out of curiosity,
them driving
was your
crazy with the
base just...
noise.
No, that was just unfortunate.
I see.
Had that actually scared me, Miko, you probably would have thrown me off the cliff here.
Good thing I know that you're not easy to jump.
Exactly. At least from you, there is that. We'll make that stipulation.
Oh, I see. Am I just not scary enough for you anymore?
No, you're still plenty scary.
Good. I was almost worried that you were implying that I'd gone soft.
No, of course not.
At this point, I might honestly try to go looking for her. Try to figure out where they're at.
I was hoping to find Rashida, but hopefully I'll find her tonight.
She was by the base, but...
Ah, that would explain.
She was looking for Van Owens.
I do hope she comes by soon. I do want to do that session with her that I had promised her.
trying to keep myself at least a little curled up. Oh.
I'm just messing with you.
Why is he calling you a mouse?
She may have gone with that group that went out looking for that, or whatever expedition thing they were talking about, that Gio was leading. Might not be able to see them for a good long while at this rate. Oh. Well, I can at least share information with dear Lotea.
I want to be able to earn my raincoat. Dr. Anders was like, well,
Lotea, darling, if you're looking for Oshida, she's down by the shrine. I saw her there with Kane.
Very well. If anything, I will probably talk with her tonight. It's not a big rush.
Very well, I figured I'd let you know though, because I saw her and I thought of you immediately.
Appreciate it, my dear friend.
You're quite welcome.
Or this happened to my buddy Eric. Layla Rocksteady. Oh, it's Miss Rocksteady. Well, back. I and some friends from high school went road tripping.
One, right?
Oh.
The what one? Apparently it was on the topic of it, but no.
Just to briefly go look. Okay, well, they're not in here. I just want to go get a quick look at the land, just because I'm curious about where people are right now. Namely, where my person of interest is. I think they're in the cave. Which I actually don't know where it is, but I'm pretty sure it's just like a real freaking far way out here or something. I can take a quick break, I see, because facilitator stuff. Yeah, I'm just curious, like, what... How far out does this whole stuff go? Wow, okay, I didn't realize there was this much more on a map that I'd never even gone to before. Now the question is, where is the cave in question? Suppose I'll just follow this path until I find something interesting. I swear I just heard somebody. I could have sworn I just heard someone's voice. Whoa. Well, there's some people out here. Some water. Okay, well that does not include the one I'm looking for. What? I mean, I could just cheat and just go straight to her. Well, she is no longer in a pitch black area. That is an improvement. Because I don't want to leave session before I do the thing with her. But that requires them to be around. Because I'm kind of like, I'm kind of feeling it a little bit. Like, I'm starting to feel like a little bit weary. But I don't want to leave them hanging, because it's semi-time sensitive that I do the scene that I had in mind with her today. There's a path over this way. Maybe she's over here. This is very pretty, though. No, I don't want to like metagame them to like come out that way or anything. It's just a matter of I want to kind of get an idea of like where they're at and if they're going to be heading back anytime soon without making them feel like they have to come back right this second. Whee! Fly through the occlusion.
Attention. You are entering a comfy vibes area. Please have your
Hello,
ready
Raptor.
to ensure maximum comfort is achieved.
Okay. Ah, there she is. Oh, well, actually, no, that's pretty close. Okay. That's good to know. Might have been part of, like, another group coming back or something.
Denim.
Always right there.
Well, I can get back into it then. Go back to my creepy staring at Mana, totally not stalking her or anything. Let's see, what am I feeling right now? Yes.
Huh? You've been there for me so far, and I have a good feeling to be there for you.
If anything, the Lotus would target me.
I'm sorry, what?
I think you'll be fine.
I'm fine.
Well, yeah, I'm not worried about that, but like, if it...
Well, now I'm intrigued.
And that's just it. There's.
I'll be honest, if it is the Lotus, I'm the only one who really has to worry about that.
No,
that's anything to say.
No, you don't really. You may
know
be
who
a
I
dog.
am.
You may be a dog of the Empire, but
I'm a prime
you
target for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you're hiding something from me.
Let's hope they're not around.
That's,
Maybe.
her. Yeah. Okay.
Oh. Maybe if they're so certain that they're going to be a target, maybe they have been doing something bad. That would be very interesting. That would be interesting indeed. I wonder what dirty laundry you have, Mr. Varus. Are you someone that I need to pay a visit to? What sort of deeds have you done in support of your beloved Emperor?
Yeah, I mean...
Master got a stick possessed? What's going on with that?
Admit it into me.
And as for your question,
I don't know anything about
my master will make themselves apparent to those they wish to know them.
Hello! Goodbye!
Goodbye.
Come on, follow me into this creepy back alley all alone with nobody watching!
This is the first I've heard of it.
Simon. Are you the one that said it's from Prima?
Oh, sorry.
Girl, do you
Guess
have
some-
your gun?
Where's the noble?
Do you have your
I've got my combat knife. I mean, it'll be fine. I'm sure, right? What's the worst
I'll
that
be
can
right
happen?
here, screaming.
That's a good question to ask right before something terrible happens, but you do you.
Oh.
I know.
Should I have... Yes?
I see it finally hatched.
Yeah, she hatched last week. Say hello to Roka. She knows that fingers are not food, so...
Hello, Roka. Oh my goodness, why are so many people trying to make friends with wyverns?
It often gets very close with the rabbits, and I don't.
This is just a baby.
I know.
I am studying their life cycle from hatchling all the way to adulthood.
At this point, it doesn't stop.
Just do be careful with it. They can, even if no one's ever really tried to do this before, at least they've never really had success, but
Well, she's intelligent enough.
Once they get to a certain age, it can get a little temperamental, so do be careful.
Yes, I know. It's probably adolescence. And oh, no harp.
Sadly, I will not. But this one does not wish to be known as a noble.
I see. However, it would be
That's a
improper
topic
of
to
me
pass
not
by.
give them the respect they are due.
If you treat everyone with the same respect as a noble, then you would actually treat them the respect they want.
And me?
Those I treat with respect is dependent on who they are. For most individuals, they are treated respectfully, as most lie above my own status. However, there are the few cases, such as your common thieves and criminals. Such individuals do not deserve respect.
Maybe not, but they deserve a second chance if possible. Deserve the chance to re-earn that respect.
Those are decisions that are not up to one of my status. All I know is what was commonly done with such people where I come from.
I'm fairly well aware. Things around here different than in Prima. When
As
things
I've
different than how they
noticed,
do in Prima.
I am quite surprised to see that Resnair still has his hands.
Because I can use those hands to help rebuild. Second chance is something you can always give someone. It could be beneficial.
I see. Then you are putting Resnair into servitude for his crimes.
I guess in a way, yes. But not in such harsh words.
If I may speak freely.
I'm not stopping you from speaking. You can speak your mind.
This town is quite strange.
That it is.
Apologies for taking up your time.
I always enjoy conversation. It's never a waste of my time.
Understood. I will consider this in the future.
I'm not sure.
If there is nothing that you need of me, I will be on my way.
Please enjoy the day.
Politics, really subjects.
Thank you.
No need for those formalities with me.
Many people say such, however,
I've never seen any
I
of these
must
stores
keep up
open
the
at any point.
appearances
What is this one?
of respect for my own
The bookstore.
Oh.
The fabric shop is also open.
I mean, look at them. They've got jewelry on there. They've got jewelry and everything. No, not you. You. Like, I don't know what that is, and it's getting winter time.
Listen, this is a public service I provide because when I have these out, everyone else gets warmer.
Ugh.
Is that how it works?
What?
Do you know magic?
Maybe Varys can learn that from the book.
No.
Yeah. You should teach
I
them
am
to Varys.
being what they call flirty.
Oh. Alright.
I see.
Sorry, backed off.
How was your day, Mr. Koshai?
Sticky figures, huh, Rez? You didn't take anything from my crates, did you?
You were.
Hi, yes.
I mean, I guess that's the best answer you can give.
You found me.
No, I mean...
I'm very good at this, apparently.
Where did this whole rumor come from anyways? Who's been saying I...
Things spent.
Do you
I just
require...
I only said it once.
I overheard you at breakfast talking about the Hana.
Oh, you must show me this book. It does sound very
curious
interesting.
what it is about.
Yes, I
Not
must
for public
admit I
eye.
don't know
book
much
is
about
not
it
for-
myself.
I'm not-
I
I'm
simply
not.
read the report that was sent
What?
to us.
It's the only thing I can
like
hide
a
behind, Red,
curse?
please.
Okay, well now I'm curious. What are you talking about?
Yes. Well,
I also
I don't
know
like
about
this.
this book.
step aside and I'd
Mhm.
be happy to tell you small bits and pieces.
You're
Parts
being
of
practiced.
Why am I in
Sure.
danger here?
if you want, or not.
I don't know. Have you done something bad to warrant being in danger?
Did you read today's paper?
I did.
I have done nothing wrong.
I did.
Nothing
And
that
that
get me in
is the
trouble,
best
but nothing I
answer
wish to
you could
talk
give.
about.
Stories that you wish to share with me.
Vez, not now.
I will tell you about, or at least what
So anyways, that's just about a book.
people who perhaps never celebrated can expect.
Maybe you should ask Zilla about her special collection in the back. That's all I'm going to say. And that's all I will say on this matter. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Okay, yes, alright.
Maybe on porch or
Special
Maybe a
collection,
our fine Birkin friend here who seems to walk into everyone.
Well, now I'm almost afraid to ask, but at the
So
same
I'm
time I
not
am.
small. It's easier for me to get out of his way.
Oh,
than,
no.
It's
you
not
know.
my story. That would be a question for
Yes,
Zilla.
if you'd like.
I like to tell.
Oh, thank
Verge refuses to show me his book, but he tells me that you have a special collection yourself.
Special collection.
Special collection in the back, he said.
That's
Well, not that I am aware
You
of.
just said that you had one too.
We had one.
And
I just took a liking to it and kept it. So...
So he was hiding it, I knew it.
I will find that book.
I'm honestly invested with you on this one.
I want to see this book.
Excuse me, are you actually open?
Oh my goodness, she's actually
I just
alive.
want to pick up a few books.
I love your hat. You and man. Very good use of a leaf. Thank you.
What kind of books do you keep?
Many.
I would like to see them.
That's pretty demanding.
I would like to see
What
them.
kind of
please.
genre are you looking for? Or are you looking for numbers?
The kind of Wolfman would hide.
Oh, yeah, I can get
Had a
that,
good
yeah, no
adventure,
problem.
I assume you went out somewhere.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I decided to drag Martinez into town.
I'll be at
Because
the
he
I
doesn't
end
read
to
the book.
find me.
I see. Is
Sure.
he enjoying
I'll
himself?
get those to you next week, for sure. And I'll get you
I
plenty.
think he's being asked for
Sounds
books.
great.
Yes,
Oh,
he is.
nice, thank you.
Varus is apparently
He has the
hiding a
same books.
special book. Oh, he...
He has the same books. He's going to bring me some.
I don't know if they're the same books, but I'm gonna share some books that have to do with wolves hiding them. That'll be fun.
I see.
Wait, what? What are we talking about?
Oh, I've been requested to give books that a wolf would hide. So
Isn't that place
I'm gonna
there a
find some books.
bookstore? Isn't that what that is? Have you been
Yeah,
to that?
yes,
No,
but
I'm
they
gonna go
they
print a
said
bunch
that
of werewolf fan fiction. I think
well,
that'd be funny.
he went looking for.
Of course you would. I
It's
knew
a special
Oh.
a special book in the back.
I knew those cards were for yourself.
Not the special book.
Oh,
Apparently it's
No,
an
they're
other
all
world.
Oh,
for
do
you
you
guys. 'cause
oh
I'm
do
not
you
a
know what the
degenerate, I
special
just know
book
about it.
is?
Even
There-
beyond.
No.
The smaller
Oh.
one
What's a
there
special book?
would be
So you
one
got
of
you
the
got your
tailors.
permit.
I
by
don't
the way,
know,
right?
but
So-
it's
No,
it's apparently it's
No.
it's apparently
You got your card, right?
something that makes Varus get really flustered, and now I am dreadfully curious.
The wolves be kissing! Oh my god! I didn't know they had that! Do they have enough space for love in the Empire?
What?
Who knows? Maybe that's what the book's about. I just,
Okay.
Room on a wolven battlefield.
That wasn't what I was thinking. I don't know. He's in there. You can ask him.
Oh my god, I'm asking him right now.
Wait, hold on. Hold on.
There he is.
Hold on.
Here,
Yeah.
keep.
Alright, let's go, bud.
There he is. There he is, officer. Get him.
He's right
Oh,
there.
he's fine. He's being.
No, yeah, it's fair enough. But you know, why don't we just give him, give him one of these? Alright, there we go.
Excellent thinking. Now he can't get away.
God, you love it.
Darlings.
Yeah, we were poking. Oh, no, God, he's here, run!
Not so funny now, is it?
Why am I being targeted with this?
Can you talk to me? Oh, okay, there you go. I couldn't hear.
Fair enough. Ready to go?
I am. Do you have everything with you? Do you need to go get it?
Mm?
Okay.
No, I'm good.
Perfect. Then, I was going to say, I actually have something.
Oh, let me go say goodbye to my friend.
Sure. Just come up here when you're ready. I was going to say, I have somewhere. Yes, I wasn't saying anything. I was just letting you know, step inside. There's you've been here after all, so just make sure nobody bothers.
I did tuck you into bed so sweetly.
Yes, you did. But I figured one of the things that would help would be the stuff that was here from when I moved in here. I don't know who previously owned this place, but yes.
I thought these were just the men that you kept around to fill this moment.
Who told you?
Them swine. I kill them where they stand.
But yes.
Oh wait, let me get mine up.
Now the question I have for you is, when you encountered the Venerator from before, what sort of... Did they have any sort of particular weapons on them, since it would indicate to me whether they are of the old persuasion or their newer way of thinking these days?
He had a very wide array of assaultments, both close, long range. He was very good with his crossbow, even after he bit his hand to absolute heck.
I see.
He had very short swords, had long sword. He was kitted, and in full armor.
And human, I'm
not
presuming?
even sure it was he, honestly. No, I don't think it was. I think it was a Vulpin.
Ah, I see. So, then definitely one of the newer wave, then. Back in the... back closer to the original point in the order, it was all human top to bottom. They made a...
Ugh.
It was a bit of a rule of theirs, so if it's non-human, that means it's probably one of the newer wave types. They have a bit of different way of thinking about
things. I thought they just wanted the foxes to fight the foxes. I thought they just found a humor in that.
Well, the issue being that if it's one of the newer ones, they have actually, as of maybe the last century or two, they aren't solely specialized against Kitsune anymore. They also, they've actually focused more of their efforts against abolitionists, funnily enough.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. So I guess they're more than just me and you, I guess.
Yes.
I guess a lot of people around here are kind of fucked. And they
Yes.
are close. That ribbon was completely gone this morning. I
Yes.
looked far and wide to try and find any scent of them anywhere, any track. Couldn't find a thing.
I went
anywhere.
by and double checked just to make sure in case it was Carrick again or something, but yes, they were. What surprises me though is that they did this and managed to keep their cool for once, which means that maybe they've grown a bit more mature. Either that or they're playing
Either
a
that
game in
or
kind.
spiteful.
But yes, let us presume that the individual in question is one that is still specialized against our kind. The main thing to know is that in your case, you wouldn't necessarily have to worry about this because you present yourself openly. But one of the things that they usually do is more trying to get in close without making their target aware that they are a venerator in the first place. They usually carry vials of this awful dye on them that they pretty much... Their way of accusing somebody is to uncork it and quite literally throw it upon someone that they're accusing of being a kitsune because it causes their illusion magic to not be very effective. Seeing as though...
That's a thing that can happen against the illusion magic? Wow, I didn't
Well,
know there was such
Well, it is
things
just...
that could pull that out.
It is just hiding it. It's an alchemical dye of sorts. They throw it upon them and it stains their fur that is hidden and causes it to... Effectively, it would be levitating in the middle of the air.
Well, that's why I appreciate you doing this with me, so that I am trained to be myself. So that I am armed, that whenever people try to come along and tell me that I can't, I have something to go back on, so I really, really appreciate it.
The ones that still specialize against us, you likely seem to have encountered that kind given the type of weaponry they were using. Their preferences are, at least for that, are, like you said, they were heavily armored crossbows. And typically swordsmen of their own kind. They don't tend to use anything else. They like to be quick and efficient. It's easier to cut down somebody than to bludgeon them to death with a blunt weapon.
Seemed very skilled with it. Like I said, I bit down that hand hard, and he was still able to get me right next to the heart.
Yes. The main thing is that a lot of them are usually trained to be ambidextrous, so presume unless you disable both arms... You'd want to be able to disable both arms,
yeah,
and
right.
if you're going to be
I didn't do that.
Using something up close, if you find yourself in that kind of position, you'd want to disable their arms first, because in their armor, despite their experience, they're still quite encumbered by it compared to someone who is not wearing several dozen pounds of metal upon their body. Such as yourself. So if you want to do something quick with that, I usually do something reverse, but I can flip it to the front because it looks like yours is a bit more forward heavy.
It is a bit more forward heavy. You know me, I like dramatics, apparently.
But yes, they will try to come in close to you as well, as one of their tactics honestly mirrors mine, in that they sometimes tend to go for the tails first, as it becomes a bit of a shock factor, and there's a lot of blood loss that can occur from that pretty quickly. The amount of nerve
People just die from shock.
The amount of nerve endings there usually causes a brief moment of paralysis for them to do the job, so they'll be in fairly close trying to get around behind you. But in doing so, assuming that they are fully plated, there are usually weaknesses in the joints right at the bases of the arms here, so if you are quick, you can get a good cut in on one, usually going for the underside, never go above the top. It's weaker down here. They're usually not as protective of it because they're not usually expecting their prey to fight back. So they'll actually give a bit of opening sometimes. Hit them once. Likely, you saw how they reacted when you bit their hand. In that moment,
Oh, yeah.
you can usually, depending on how your swing is, if you come from the top, you can come back down. Sometimes you can take the whole arm with it, because in the process, you're cutting the straps to the armor. Seeing as most of them are heavily
I took off their leg, but I'm not gonna profess myself to any prowess. That was desperation of lunging. I didn't aim at all.
But yes, your main goal when you're dealing with them, especially the ones that walk around proud of themselves wearing their armors, you want to expose them for who they are, effectively. The straps on their body are very easily cut with a sharp enough tool. That will certainly do. You can expose it through the arms right now. You can expose it through the arms here, the back of the legs, and usually if you're able to get around behind them in a moment of surprise, there'll be some usually along the back side, usually like around here or on the other side, depending on the make of their armor. But one thing that they, despite their experience, they are usually very self-confident themselves, and when parts of their protection start getting cut away, they are thrown off by that. So if you ever find yourself in a position like that...
I'm definitely scared of them, so...
If you ever find yourself in that position, the first thing to go for is to create yourself an opening. Get that sort of thing there. So... if they were from the front, but in this case, you'd have to be able to hit from the side, but if you honestly do a slicing cut along the side, you can usually still sever some of the straps. That will usually cause part of their chest armor to come off. And that would then give you
anything that we can use against them, like they use against us?
Hearts. Well, their main thing is that they tend to try to operate on the basis of surprise. When they are actively on the hunt, unless there have been some that are bolder in the past, but they tend to not make themselves known as such, and if we're dealing with one that is trying to be undercover, that's where it gets a bit difficult, but they have a tendency to hold themselves in particular ways. They... The biggest thing about it is that a lot of the more traditional venerators that are specifically after Kitsune, more often than not, they will usually be human. So it's usually, if there's somebody around that...
It could have been a human. It was very dark when I was running through the thing. I just thought it was.
Also, if they were wearing full armor, it's hard to tell because sometimes they like to keep their ears in there. Even the elves.
Oh yeah, it was full plate, head to toe. I couldn't even
Yes.
see.
Then it's entirely possible, but... As bad as it sounds, if there's one thing to be immediately a bit wary of is if there are suddenly humans walking around that nobody seems to recognize and are asking a lot of
There was
particular
one
questions.
that came around, the kind of noble kind of one. I've been trying to keep steer of them because I don't trust them at all. I heard that they had an imperial crest on their shirt.
I could look into it, but that said, unless they were wandering around in the forest as of the last week, then they weren't the one who removed the ribbons. And I don't believe, and seeing as they had arrived into town from that path and they were still there. Unless they're really good at moving around, it is possible. But yes.
It is possible.
In your case, you did the right thing by crippling their movement even further. So once you get an opening in the armor, you want to try to disable at least one limb as quickly as possible, because a lot of their fighting style, especially against enemies, they tend to try to go for quick incapacitation of whatever it is that they're going after, as to prevent anybody from stepping in, causing problems afterwards, because as soon as they finish their business, they will then loudly tend to proclaim that they are on official Oracle business, and at that point, most people are too intimidated to intervene. But in your case...
Did you know that the UN were trying to offer me sanctuary? But
yes.
Then the other UN people were saying that they didn't want to do that. But I declined their offer.
I was going to say, I remember you told me last week that you were...
They keep trying to get me in there, but I don't trust them.
But yes.
They don't have our best interests in mind.
But so, against one that is hiding their presence, it is a bit more difficult. That said, for one that is a bit more sensitive to the matter, if they are one that is specifically after our kind, if they are carrying that dye mixture on them, one of the drawbacks is that if you know what to be looking for, one of its designs is not only to be very bright and noticeable upon being splashed on the intended target, it is also incredibly pungent, so that if one were to escape, the scent trail would lead them after their quarry. So if there's somebody that is walking around, if there's someone walking around with who nobody seems to know, and there's a particular, even sealed, it can waft out a bit on their person, so they tend to try to keep it concealed. But for those of us who are sensitive natures, they usually use that as a bit of a test. If there's anybody that is reacting strangely to them being around them, that because they're picking up on that scent, that's usually their first test.
Because we can smell better, but there are other races that also smell pretty well, like Dwarf King, for example.
Well, that is not the only thing they use, but is the first sign that they will look for is whether or not somebody reacts to that.
Whether a human or something that doesn't smell really well, to see if they react.
Because they are trying to basically discern if you are human or kitsune. Most humans do not really have the sensitivity to be able to pick up on it while it is still sealed. So if you react to it, they tend to use that as a means of suspicion to then utilize it.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Did that ever work on you?
At one point, which is why I know how dreadfully difficult it is to get off. The stuff stains quite heavily. It's not permanent, but it will take a while. Yes, no. Unfortunately, no. My tails have always been black.
Fair enough.
But
what do you have to say about a confidence? You saying that they have a certain bravado to them? Is that something that we can use to identify them?
To a degree. Back in the original times of back in the time of the first Oracle, when they were originally established, and they were a lot more particular with their things. I'm tired of holding this.
Yes, Queen! Sorry.
But
you just excite me as well.
I see. Well, I'm glad I
Quite a big
excite
admirer.
you. But back in their original
Of
days,
course, you're a badass.
back in the original day that they were, well, more proper about their ways and how they exclusively hunted us. They were very confident in their actions, and, well, anyone would be when they get to say that their actions are sanctioned and guided by the oracles themselves.
Oracle bless, of course. They're just so right. They're so correct.
Mm-hmm.
They're so blessed.
But even now, the way that they hold themselves, they do not exactly have the same finesse that the Order of Old did after they have gone a bit more, well, they were re-established after the Northern disaster, and that's when they changed their approach, both to deal with us and the abolitionist movement in general. That's when they opened their ranks to more than just humans, although they will, ironically, they will look down even upon their own kind if they are not human. They have a bit of elitism in their own ranks. It's rather sad.
Well, that's how I felt when I first came here, when everyone kicked me out of that shrine. I felt like I was being outcasted by my own people. I don't feel that way much anymore, but for the time I did. I understood though. I mean, I am the way I am, and I am making my own choices. It puts everyone in a hard position. I understand.
Well, personally, just as you admire me, I admire that about you. I'm in
I
the
just
safety
love
of my
your
own.
tales.
Appreciate it.
They must come with age, but you definitely keep them well kept.
Well, they've been around for a long while. Even the 9th one.
I do want to ask about it, but I don't want to push it. I heard that it's a rather devastating type of event if it goes wrong.
The process of ascension, you mean? Well, if it does go wrong, yes, but typically that is not offered to somebody who they are worried about having a, they only do that for those who have done something of great renown amongst our people.
One could say you are trying to keep, great renown within that kind.
Well,
You're trying to keep, traitors out?
When I was...
You've been aged quite a many years.
When I was not the Black Lotus was when I got my 9th tail.
Happened after.
Had I been who I am now, there is no way that the necessary means to enable ascension would have ever been granted to someone like me. Because almost every of my kin, no matter what their disposition is, nearly all of them will pale at the mention of my name. Even if they have nothing...
I understand, but I think that they're very short-sighted. Aren't they upset at anyone that we live in the same ways that we do? Aren't you tired of it? Wouldn't having strong allies on our side be nothing but a good thing for us?
That is what I believe too, but most of them will only fixate on the fact that they find it wrong that one of their own should be the one that is their executioner. And they believe that my methods are improper. And perhaps they're right. However, it does mean that it puts the fear of turning to those who have been nothing but suppressors to us It makes them think about their actions before they do it.
I think a lot of people in our kind for a long time have been okay with oppressing ourselves. I think they find it confident nowadays, and I don't find it.
Yes.
I don't want that for my family anymore. I don't want that for me.
Nobody should.
But I don't want to drag them down into this.
Nobody should want to have to deal with that. But even so...
What have we ever done? We've done nothing. Why should we have to answer for that crime?
Because... if there is one thing that the oracles are good at, it's absolutes. And they use one brush to paint broad strokes across all that are within their purview. So, as a result, when they needed someone to blame, they go with the ones who have a history of being mysterious, always hiding who they might be or capable of being anyone in a room. You never know. You could be right next to a kitsune and not even know it. It's so easy to say things like that and scare people because, well, people say a lot of things without necessarily thinking about whether or not it's a fair depiction of all of our kind. Now, they could say it about me and they'd be absolutely right, but that's besides the point. But
I think that
to our kind, the name is terrifying. To the Empire, a terrifying name, and yet there are some that have in the past actually looked upon it as, in your case, something to look up to, or in other cases, something to copy.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Did that ever get sorted?
Actually, I might have found who is it. I don't have the exact confirmation, but there are enough things coming together because somebody, in their effort to be provided misinformation from outside, actually ended up giving me the information I needed to finally start looking into things. Which was that there was a story. The letter was insisting that that I was Vulpine. They insist there was no way.
They tuned I was a wolfkin.
But as a result, it's led me to do a bit of looking, and well, I found something rather interesting recently during a unannounced visit. That there are certainly other people in this town that are not exactly forthcoming about what it is that they might be doing in their free time.
Well, I could see that.
And the only reason why I'm upset about it is that they were using my name and things that I would personally never partake in, and then when they do so, they don't even do it right.
It causes unnecessary attention to your home.
Exactly.
And especially your identity. And that's a threat.
Yes. While it wasn't pinned against me, I do know that there was an attempt made among others that were attributed to me. A mass poisoning event that happened at a festival a few years back. I can't remember the city. Was it Ewa? Regardless, they ended up blaming the Wolfkin for it, but I know there was an effort to leave a Lotus there. And I just have a couple of questions for that person. See why they think that they are...
I think you should probably snuff it out as soon as you can.
Well, I'm glad you agree. But it seems like they are a bit jumpy today. I don't know what could have had them so jumpy. Maybe it was the note that I left in their little poison stash that they keep in their house.
Hey, stop fucking trying to be me. I know where you live, and I know where you breathe, and I know where you can die, and I know where you can stop breathing.
Yes.
So stop it.
I was gonna say, they... Fortunately, though, with the pass all blocked off, they can't really go anywhere for a while, so I have more than enough time to get their attention, and after all, my name seemed to have been on people's lips today, so it means that they're talking about it. I didn't at all. The funny thing is that in that letter that I left, no mention of the Black Lotus was put anywhere in there, and yet in a group conversation earlier today, I hear people talking about it and saying if there's any people theorizing about who could or couldn't be a target. I wonder why that name came up when there was absolutely no mention of it.
That is wild, isn't it?
It's almost as if they
Maybe
feel
a
guilty about
conscience?
something. Exactly. But yes, just to not beat around the bush, the person I am suspicious of in that manner is Mana. Because they're the only one here that fit the description that did, and for that matter, I don't know why someone who owns a textile shop has any need for poisons.
That is really bizarre. I don't know why they would either.
Just food for thought.
Ah.
You don't need to mention it to them,
There's
but if you happen to
Volpines
see
wanting
them...
to be a Kitsune, halfway being a venerator, can't they just pick?
But if you do happen to see them acting a bit strangely, for whatever reason, or talking about anything bizarre, because they seem to be a bit jumpy around me. Maybe they notice me just casually watching out the corner of my eye, who knows. But I haven't done anything openly wrong towards them, so them being all jumpy around me only seems to be implying that they have something to be guilty about.
Do you think that they know?
Possibly. Or at least they seem to feel like I'm watching them or something, but if they act on it, it would require if they act on it, it would require them to admit why they have reason to make such accusations. So it's not really like they're in a good
do
position.
something about it prior? Maybe we can find them in a night or something. If we work together, maybe it'll be easier.
Oh, are you implying that you would like to take part in this little fun experience of mine?
I just want to learn everything I can from you. I really do.
I see.
I just hope that there'll come a day where there won't need to be for a Black Lotus anymore.
Then I suppose in that regard, you are very directly wanting to be a bit of an apprentice of sorts.
There is a knock at the door downstairs.
Oh, that'll be for you.
One moment.
Somebody hide?
No, I don't care, but I will hide myself.
I can go pick up the door.
No, well, I mean hide, as you know. I will get it.
Oh.
Hello? Oh, it's you. What can I do for you, dear?
Do you have some time to talk?
About something particular? Do you mind that I have company over?
It's a private one.
I see. Well, in that case... Right here. In regards to your offer, I will certainly consider it, and I believe... Lotea, she apparently has something that she urgently needs to speak to me about, and I
understand. Hey, you go do what you do. We have a whole week to talk.
But yes, in regards to your offer, I'll consider that about what to do, and I'll let you know what I think, but as far as the overall intent of your offer, I think it would be quite an interesting and potentially exciting experience indeed. But yes,
Well,
if I
do
may,
give it a thought over.
yes, if I may have some time.
Of course, please enjoy yourselves.
Come on in, Lotea.
It's all yours.
Please. Have a pleasant evening, Vixen.
Say it back.
Forgive me.
Ah, tragic.
I was just giving her a bit of pointers about a mutual problem, as well as letting her know recent developments and such, but anyways, what can I do for you, dear?
I just had a very interesting conversation with a member of the UN.
I see. Which one?
In regards, I do not get his name. I can point him out to you if I see him, though.
His name, okay, well, it's a man. Starters.
Indeed. Blonde hair.
Blonde hair. Was it the one you were talking to earlier, or someone else? I don't remember what the hair
It
color.
was. The one on the cliffside, yes.
I don't remember their exact name, but I do know their face. Anyways, what about them?
He was asking me some very interesting questions. Questions about you.
In what regard?
Apparently, someone has been telling them, the people over at the UN, about this story of the Black Lotus.
Ah, that would be Dr. Yan talking about the stories that I've been telling her.
I see. I asked him about that, and he didn't give me a name. He just said he was been hearing it around.
Well, why is he interested?
I'm not surprised by the answer. He is trying to find answers as to who killed Kazalek. I, of course, denied everything. I gave no hints towards you, and I gave no pointers that he would have any inclination to go in your direction. That being said...
So, they are...
He is looking...
They are looking into me too. Oh, how exciting! I haven't had this much fun in ages. Between taking on someone as a potential pupil of my arts, to looking for an imposter who has been oh so delightfully jumpy around me today, which means I've given that... Oh, yes, actually, I should probably tell you something that I think you'll find quite interesting. It seems that my name was on, and by my, I mean my true name, was on people's lips out in front of, I believe, Laru's shop. There was a number of people there. Mana, Zila,
I saw them
Varus,
gathered up.
Resner. But for whatever reason, despite the fact that the little note that I left Miss Mana in her poison stash, they were talking about the Black Lotus for some reason. I never mentioned that at all in the letter. Now, there was a little bit of an implication, yes, but for them to leap directly to that conclusion makes me think that they do indeed have a guilty conscience, and they're going around and telling people about them potentially being in danger. They're not in danger yet. Although Varus believes that he is somebody that could be a target, and I don't agree unless he is hiding something from me. If he is hiding some misdeeds of his, that might require me to give him a little personal visit.
I am unaware of anything. Granted, here I don't
Regardless,
speak much.
The fact that they are talking about it means that they did indeed find it, and I would explain why they are so jumpy today. She's also been lurking around corners at times. It looked like they were points trying to look towards me. It's like they seemed to believe that I had something to do with it. I don't know why. I haven't done them any wrong as of late. So if they were to accuse me, it would require them to have to fess up to why they have such certainty. It's a very curious situation, isn't it?
Indeed, and besides, why would they suspect you? You are completely innocent, and there's nothing tracing back to you at all.
Yes, because I'm not sloppy unlike her.
Exactly. And that is something I have learned from you.
But
Additionally...
The manner of which they are acting is also showing me who they trust right now the most, which would be most certainly Zila. It seems they trust the captain. To a degree, Resnair
is another one on that list.
Unfortunate that they
is high on that list.
Unfortunate they are always gathered around each other. It makes it very hard to catch them alone. Because now that I see them acting this way, it gives me more reason that I feel that I need to give them a little visit.
Just be safe when you do, my friend. As always.
Well, on that note, as it so happens, Miss Vixen, actually, when I told them this story, they seemed rather interested in potentially helping nip the problem in the bud.
I see.
They seem to look at me not as a person to fear, but someone to learn from. And honestly, the idea amuses me. To potentially have a proper successor to the art. In the event that one day I can no longer do it. For there's always going to be a need for the Lotus, so long as the Empire's around, so long as our kind has a nasty habit of getting in bed with the wrong people.
To share some further information with you, Miko, that you might find interesting. The UN person, and I have some more to give on Mana later, the UN man seemed to take a very big interest in solving this murder of Kazaleg. He went, of course, to go so far as to question me. Questioning if I had anything to do with this. Of course, I did not. But he was wondering how the T's are handled. Who handles it? Who processes it?
How the T's are handled? Doesn't he realize that he was poisoned by not tea?
I know.
He was from
but
alcohol.
I'm also an herbalist, dear.
Ah, yes, because automatic
An herbalist that knows a great deal of flowers.
Automatic association by knowledge of plants. Perhaps they should be looking towards their own in that regard.
I was happy to tell him that at least the flower is rare and only grows in one certain place. Very variety of people live there. No indication. Although, he did ask very pointedly if Kitsune lived there. To which I told him, how would I know? I do not see Kitsune. Kitsune hide themselves from us. All but one, of course, which is our wonderful friend Vixen.
Yes.
She has been the exception. That being said, I do not know the people who live very well. I do not know very well of the people who live in that region where that flower grows. I gave a broad description.
It's been a while. I only
what did
visit
they do
there.
or did not?
I only visit there every few decades. To resupply every now and then when the time goes by.
Indeed. I had a feeling. Who's at the door?
Oh, hello. How are you, dear?
Oh,
Hi.
Can I help
I
you?
hope you're doing fine.
I've had a busy
Yes,
day.
I wanted to... Yeah, I was looking for you for like quite a few times.
Yes.
Simultaneously trying not to get interrupted in that endeavor.
Regardless, what
so
can I do?
I thought I'll just check your home again.
What can I do for you?
I wanted to talk for a bit.
Anything particular? Because right now I am actually in the midst of being told things that are at least rather relevant to my current interests.
No, nothing in particular. We can have our talk a later time.
If you wouldn't mind, dear.
Of course.
Very well. Have a nice night.
Have a nice night.
Ah, lovely girl.
You are a busy woman.
Very lovely girl. Very curious. One that is going to eventually need to have a little bit of a talking to. Not because they're in trouble, but just because they've been such a good little toy. Playing along to the little strings that I keep leaving out and wanting to know ever so much more. Although they told me something rather interesting about themselves last week.
But going back to my train of thought.
Yes.
He definitely was very interested in trying to find whoever killed Castleegg. It seems he's going around asking people. And it wouldn't surprise me if you get called by him.
Well, at this point, perhaps I should just let him know that he's on watch, in a sense. That his questions
I would be
are
careful
being
in that
noticed.
regard.
I'll think about
I know.
it. But yes.
I know. Just know that he is going around asking.
I see.
He wants answers.
I don't know why he finds
Answers she.
I don't know why he thinks he has any right to be butting into this business, given that he is not even a resident of our world.
Because he believes in keeping the peace. Those are his words.
I keep the peace. I'm the one who actually takes care of people that would otherwise cause problems.
I know.
As long as we have that understanding.
That's the news of him, at least. That is the news of him, at least.
Yes. Now about my dear little person of interest.
Miss Mana, when I was speaking to him in my house earlier, had a very loud shouting fit outside my door. Lo and behold, as soon as he and I finish our conversation, I open the door. I walk out to find Resner, Mana, Rowan, Giamara, and the new cat maid, all outside my door. Now,
having a shouting
Mana
match
is downright. No, Mana is solo. Well, a shouting match that is only one-sided. Mana is downright furious. Apparently, and this is a long and convoluted story, but the best as I understand it from Giamara, one of the members of the UN sent a letter to one of the two candidates of the vying for the Emperor's throne. Said letter was delivered to one of them. The letter was addressed as Lord Bart. Hence the title of a lord. Yes.
Why?
He wrote a lordship title on the letter. To the point of the Emperor read said letter and believed that this Lord Bart is actually real. He sends a special messenger to the UN base.
That would explain why there's so much unnecessary attention here lately.
Yes, it would in part. Apparently, this new cat maid is also part of that. But she also came in with, Miss Bella, I believe is her name, the other nobility woman.
Yes, there is some worry amongst, at least by Vixen, about the fact that they could potentially be somebody of concern, given that, at least traditionally, most venerators are human.
I know. Believe me, that worry has crossed my mind too. Regardless, he gets this Lord Bart gets this response back. To the point of now, the cat maid, I believe her name is Aisha. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember her name exactly.
This close, yes.
She is now seeing him as a proper lord, to the point of the letter that was returned to this Lord Bart was a full recognition of his lordship. A lordship of title, no other lands or anything of that sort. But a lord nonetheless. Now, this person has been told has been given a proper dressing, or a proper telling off, I believe is the phrase, from his superiors. The exact verbiage that Giamara used was, everyone who came out of that room was trembling in anger and fury, whereas he, when he came out, was trembling in fear. Apparently, this is causing a massive issue for the people of the UN. They don't know what to do with it. For now, all they are saying is to quote-unquote honor his lordship and call him by his title. Now, with that explanation out of the way, Mana and the cat maid have had an altercation. Apparently, the story goes that Resner and this Lord Bart were having fun to a point of just, being playful with each other, from what I understand. The maid saw this as a potential threat to Lord Bart. Because, as you know, Resner is a Bjorn, a very large, imposing bear. And she interpreted that as a potential threat to him, to which she stepped in, sword drawn, against Resner, in an attempt to defend the Lord. Mana saw this and went into a fit, believing that that the cat maid was about to harm Resner for something he didn't do, which, to be quite honest, Resner did not do anything wrong.
Right.
It is a misinterpretation of a scenario on Mana's part. Mana, on the other hand, does not see it this way. The cat maid attempted to explain her reasoning, given the fact that because he is a lord, any attempt on his life, be it a threat or physical violence against him, Resner would have essentially have his arm cut off, as is per tradition in, I guess, the nobility of the empire.
It is.
Mana did not like this. It has been a while since I've known nobility customs. 70 years.
Yes,
so
it's very barbaric in nature.
Why am I not surprised?
They are very light-handed against their own and very hard against those beneath them.
Of course. Anyways, Mana, upset and angry, refuses to believe this, and apparently this isn't the first time something like this has happened, from what Giamara has witnessed. Apparently, she heard Mana say words along something of the lines of, "I will not let this happen again." Apparently, Mana, or someone close to Mana, has suffered a very similar fate. Any other details, I do not know. But it got to the point of Mana was very much willing to kill the cat maid for even threatening Resnair with tradition. Meanwhile, the cat maid is doing as she has been instructed most of her life to do: uphold tradition and protect the lordship and nobility.
Yes.
She is following her rules and orders. Mana doesn't see it that way. And so she is exceedingly furious.
I see.
Indeed. And that is pretty much the long and short of it.
Well, if they have the intent to do it, that would track with what they have in their possession. And still very much a reason to ask them why they have such things, and perhaps now I have reason to ask them why do they have such a name on their lips.
Your hip, dear, is a little sideways.
I don't care. I'm sassy as fuck, yo.
Understood. Yes, you are.
Anyways.
Some information, perhaps, for you to use, and I thought you would find it interesting.
I do. So I greatly appreciate it.
I'm glad. You're
That's
welcome, my dear friend.
I do believe I should probably step out of my house before people...
I'm glad I was able to speak with you, though, on this.
Yes.
From the wind, at least.
That's from a biological standpoint.
If you want to use those, you're more than welcome.
I do appreciate.
Where's the berries? I don't see
Right by the front. So, right in front of the gate on the left. It's the only building standing by itself.
If it wasn't happening to me, I would probably be even
Hello
more
there.
fascinated.
Hello.
But there's also the kind of it's happening to me part. That's kind of like
Beds on the top. Your only roommate will be a
One of the
rabbit.
weak sheets of 4 for you
A
there.
little orange one. She's spicy, but you know.
Good to make sure that, you know, if you've been dry for a week, yeah, you're probably going to hit it hard and have a rough day tomorrow, so hopefully that'll help you.
Sorry, I won't hold you up.
And then they just. This is about the 10th week in a row.
Eggs
I now have 10.
aren't just like a fully formed animal. And
no, they're all just normal eggs, not formed. I bore the egg. I mean, look, I've ate a lot of them, and they haven't been an animal inside. It's just it.
Look, if I was drinking as well, by all means, I would take you up on the offer like that. Straight away. I would have zero hesitation.
Someone who needed to be in the loop about things.
Actually,
to get them in the loop about things.
Yeah, a little
Oh, of course, by all means.
Has your condition changed at all?
Like a lot more agitated than you usually are.
Not very much.
Yeah, because I'm.
That's good.
On their own.
There's an open hole there. It's no wonder my house keeps getting cold. I thought it was simply because we don't
have a fireplace.
I mean, no, if you want me to fix that up in that sense, I do not mind doing that. Put some rocks there in that sense.
So, what are we doing
Right behind this door, there's a little foyer with
Especially
another
when
door.
the forest is more
Cleaner than usual.
Yeah, well, they've been taking down a lot of logs after all.
Koshai says it's
No,
about
so-
community and togetherness, and it's really nice.
Everything alright in here tonight?
I'm drinking a little.
Hey, darling.
Everything seems fine. Did Lotea find you?
Yes,
simply enough?
I knew it was
she
gonna happen
did.
today. I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it. I knew it. It just
Seemed to be a very important topic, and well, it was. So I am appreciative that she had
Of course, anytime.
come to me over it.
I'll make sure
course,
Mr.
so-
Musil gets around
Well,
safe.
she
Don't
goes
worry,
to you
I'll
about
take
a lot
care
of
him.
things.
You
So-
two
Yeah.
have fun
Shows it
now
was
in
very
here.
important.
Not too
In
much
this
fun.
case, even with the standard of how often she's in my company, this was rather pressing, so it was appreciated.
It's
It looks like
another
things
part
are a
of the
little
plan. You
bit
can join me if you'd like.
winding down, so
Sure. I know where to go.
step out. Check upstairs first. Everything good up here?
Mhm. I'm just making some more tea for Miss Margarita.
I see.
Are you alright?
I am. Just had a long day full of many long-form conversations. The usual fun for me.
Sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing better since we really got to talk last?
In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. At least in the state that I was when we last really had a prolonged conversation, yes. I've had other troubles come up for me as of late. But it's alright, I'm more than equipped to deal with it.
Still sorry to hear that. You've been going through a lot.
It's quite alright. It's simply the way that these things are sometimes. But I
Wish they
do.
didn't have to be.
But I do appreciate the concern, nonetheless. As I hope that you are well yourself.
Yeah, Jenny's been trying to de-escalate, just, you know, things. Yeah.
God, that thing is beautiful at night.
Seems like it just goes on forever.
On the bottom floor.
I mean, I
outside,
assume
around
it would
the
hit the
bottom
atmosphere,
stairs.
but who knows?
He'll let you in. It opens one of the chests in there in case you want to walk.
There
through
was
it yourself.
somebody had the theory that the light goes all the way back
Fortunately,
home.
people staying down there.
But then we pointed out that it spins, so it wouldn't quite work now, would it?
It's a solar system model, just people think it's a straight line and it's just...
Oh, wait.
Like somehow, if in some way, just everything lined up perfectly, and we were spinning at just the right speed, with just enough like space in the solar system, that somehow that light always lines up with
Hello, Miko.
Hello.
The lover is coming out over the mountains.
Myself, and then if not
A
anyone
lot,
I
it
care
feels.
for, I will just
And it is
wreck
quite
the place
clear
and
out
be
tonight,
sad.
too.
Mm.
Over here, dear.
I see.
Mm.
Quite beautiful, isn't it?
It is. I don't see the huntress anywhere.
I'm going to bed. Good night.
Good night,
night,
Musu.
Musu.
Ah, I see Loru is yellow. Interesting.
Hold on, is he blushing today?
Maybe continue working.
Okay.
Please take the night, Geo. We can work in the morning.
things in particular that worry you?
What are they working on? What is...
We found
Well,
things.
Thankfully, someone stopped
Lena
him,
told me you
but
found
I'm
stuff.
scared of him.
There's always tomorrow, dear.
A good expedition.
Okay.
I try to be nice, so
I
that
have no
you
clue
don't get
where Zilla ran off. I think I just saw her run up there with Dolan.
Jill wants people to be safe before winter.
Sometimes people just, no matter how hard you try, just
Still,
remain
it won't do you any good if you run yourself ragged.
like the people that were mean to you today. Don't listen. You're so nice.
Also, if I
okay?
believe I heard mention of Zilla. Yes, I believe she.
You get you down,
Yeah,
okay?
never mind.
'Cause
She's right
there's
there.
A lot of people here that care about you. Okay?
Oh.
And if anybody else, you come get me, and I'll yell. I know how to swing a bat. Flower taught me how to swing it. And I'll
She will
swing
take a
it
kneecap.
you
She has fed me multiple times.
with my
What?
bat.
Mm.
If they try,
Oh, this is very
Nice.
feisty little slime she is.
I see. Okay, so I'm not the only one being called spicy then. I see. Very well.
Oh.
I thought it was just.
Well,
for
there's
me.
levels of spice here. As
I won't worry at all.
where have you been, little bun?
I'm trying to fish. It's getting harder and harder. It's taking me longer and longer to get, you know.
Yes.
I need to switch to foraging.
Oh, forage, I fish.
There's my body. Okay,
Not forage fish. Berries.
Jill should show you things out.
Oh.
It seems to be something that Gio is struggling with, and I don't want her to feel unwelcome, especially with the help that she's doing.
She's not unwelcome whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Bye, Miko. Bye, Miko.
I was just looking to see if there was
Quite nimble
anybody
one,
down that
sneaking
way.
around over here.
I do have a habit of showing up in front of people without them realizing that I've been right there. It's a little habit of mine. I'm sorry.
It's not going to be that much of a problem, honestly.
Oh.
I mean, the way I see it, it's that's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's a charming trait.
Seems like you had quite an evening.
What of that? Oh, that is an allergic reaction that I had when I was traveling. It's relating to some of the plant life out there.
Strangely shaped,
It looks
but
quite like a hickey.
A lot of people have said that so far. I'm very well aware it does look like it. It's just a very unfortunate place.
Alas.
Yippee!
I'm gonna just go ahead and end early a little